Alright, so we're going to be doing inverse proportion today. So last lesson we did direct proportion. Today we're doing inverse proportion. So to start off with, we're just going to look through the notes. Two things are in inverse proportion when, if one thing increases, the other thing decreases. So inverse means opposite. So the opposite things are happening. One's going up, the other one's going down, they're opposites. Okay, so we can give an example, like if we look at the speed of a car, going just say from home to school, and the time taken for that journey from home to school. So if the car speed increases, the time taken to get to school decreases. Also, if this car speed decreases, the time taken to get to school increases. So they're opposites. That's when you've got inverse proportion. Okay, so the wording in the questions will either say inversely proportional or it will say varies inversely. Whichever way it is, you will see the word inverse in there somewhere. Okay, so if it's there, you're going to be starting the procedure down here, and it looks like the other one, but there's a few changes. So the main difference is that with the direct variation, we started with an equation that said y equals kx. But with the inverse proportion or inverse variation, we have y equals k over x. All right, so that's the big difference. Most of the rest of the steps are the same. It's just that you have to start it right. Okay, now we're still going to find k, just like we did in the last one with direct proportion. So to find k, we need a pair of values that go together. So in this case, we're dealing with x and y. We need an x value and a y value that actually go together. Then we put both of those numbers in to this equation down here. And if we put numbers in those two spots, we'll have just one letter left, and that's k. And you can solve that little equation like we did last lesson. Okay, so once you've got that k value, now remember, k is always called the constant of variation or the constant of proportionality. So if they say to you in a question, find the constant of variation, all they want you to find is k. Okay, once you've got the k value, the number for k, you're going to substitute that number into our equation y equals k over x. And when we do that, we're going to create our actual variation equation, the real variation equation. So if they say to you in a question, find the variation equation, that's what they're going to want. So your answer would be something like y equals 7 over x or something like that. Okay? Once you've got that formula, you use it to answer any other question that they will ask you. So in the next video, we're going to come back and do some examples on this work.